Let's get cracking.
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the D2CL. We are here for Season 3. That's right, Season 3 is already beginning. Not the official season just yet. We're doing the qualifiers to see which teams will be able to compete in the primary season coming up in just a couple of weeks' time. For now, though, let's look at our two teams, and of course, one team we've already cast, in fact, both teams we've already cast today. We had RoX having a almost flawless performance. Absolutely beautiful performance up against an SKZ. Bit of a bloodbath to start with, but it was all going the way of RoX after the start. And, well, Team Dog, they had the advantage, lost the advantage, gained the advantage back with an amazing haul from Misery, and then they lost it again. Because the retry, they ended up just taking an extra set of rags. They pushed in, and they basically said, we have the power. And they won. So, yeah, right now we have ourselves with Team Dog being one game down here in the qualifier, while RoX looking very, very sweet and pretty. They're 1-0 at the same result as the retry. So right now, we're going to see who's going to be the one to qualify through. As we'll have Team Dog over on the Dire side for this matchup. They'll have the Invoker as well as the Dazzle coming early up in their picks, while RoX, they go for the classic Ember Spirit as well as Treant Protector combo. One of Godblack's favorite combinations. Allows for overcommittal of Ember Spirits. And so difficult to kill him off. Like, you put the Living Armor up on him as well as having his Immolation. And there's just very little way that you can kill off the Ember Spirit in the early stages of the game when you got that kind of combination together. So, Team Dog, with the Dazzle pickup, I'm interested to see how they approach this one. This almost feels a little bit like it's going to be their Axe game. Like, Darkseer and Batrider get taken out because Godblack's just thinking, oh, okay, if they're going to play passive with the Dazzle, they're going to play it a little bit safer. Okay, with the Centaur pickup too, maybe it is going to be exactly that too. They just hold back. Like, there's no reason to commit yourself in too hard up against an Ember as well as a Treant. If you feel you can win this in the late game, then you go ahead and do it. RoX now with their third pickup. They have the Prophet as well as the Puck being banned out, which means they take out the offlaner potential. Surprised too, they also want to remove the Puck. Makes me think that Dog have something else planned. As I realized too, you've started the day and I haven't checked my batteries yet. I'll change my batteries back in a moment. And now that that's out of the way, we're all good to go. So Luna comes up here for RoX. So BZZ, he gets his pushing, controlling style hero. At the same time, you get the Doombringer pickup from Misery. And with that hero, they get the control over the Ember Spirit they're searching for. The Luna control, that's a different kettle of fish. They need to be able to get in close enough to dish out a lot of damage. Doombringer doesn't really allow for that to happen. They could try and go for the extra greed. And I'm talking Enigma kind of greed in this game. As Lich gets played again. They did this before. Oh, they ran such a wonderful lane. It was Lich and Centaur together. It was quite superb. It was wonderful to watch. It was wonderful, wonderful to watch. Couldn't kill it. Couldn't come in close. Got harassed out. What are you supposed to do?
10 seconds.
You can't do anything. In fact, with this lane, they could almost run Luna, Lich, and Tree as an aggro try lane. Which means if Dog do get greedy and they try and pick up a jungle like Enchantress, Chen, Enigma, they could end up paying for it badly. Like, badly to a point where they never find any levels. Their carry hero gets no money whatsoever. Doombringer using Devour every couple of seconds isn't going to be enough. This is a guy that'll have to put 4 points up in Scorched Earth just to have a hope of surviving in that lane. If he wants to get close enough for experience, let alone farm. So how does the last ban work here for Dog? Like, it's so difficult to ban out against too. Like, you just think about the offlaners. You can consider like a Slark ban. That's something which RoX would think about doing. But at the same time, you're going up against a Centaur or a Doombringer. You want someone that's going to be able to bait out that Doom ulti as well. And yeah, actually, that would have been a nice selection. Bait out the Doom ulti, you're up against massive strength heroes. That's where my point was moving to. The Timbersaw would have been a possibility for RoX. Would have worked no matter how the lanes would be set up. If you win a Timbersaw on a Centaur, Timbersaw should be the one coming out on top of that one. And that's what Dog doesn't want to have happen. So they remove him out. This does mean the Slark is available. Centaur can deal with Slark. Not amazingly, but it can deal with him.
Reserve time.
Well, RoX now, their last ban. You can't ban out all the junglers, so the only thing you can probably ban out is the support heroes. The key support hero to be able to work with a Centaur. You could just try and... Actually, they don't even have to remove the Enigma. The other beautiful thing about a Lich, just throw the ulti out and you get the instant stun. So, they take out the chain. Yeah, so Godblack's thinking the same thing I am. It's the safety in the jungle. They'll have to go Enchantress in the early stages if they want to. Problem is, she's going to end up tailing off, but then again, same. She doesn't tail off anywhere near as much as Lich does. And Dazzle always having his heal, Shallow Grave, Weave. They'll stay on top of that one. But I almost would like to see Dog. Yeah, okay, that works. I was looking for pushing power as well as disable, and I wasn't quite sure exactly where they'd be able to pull it from. But Shadow Shaman will be able to do that role. The downside is Shadow Shaman needs levels to do anything. So it's got to be defensive. The defensive tri-lane doesn't really seem to be right. I'd almost want to see Centaur and Dazzle as a duel off. Then you could run the Doom and Shadow Shaman up on that top lane. It's going to be a rough ride. No, I'm definitely not doubting that one. I really don't see another option right now. Team Dog could at least try and get... Like, they need levels. That's the only thing I'm worried about. If you put both Dazzle as well as Shadow Shaman up on the top lane, they're not going to find the levels fast enough to really be of any kind of effect in the game. So the only other way around that is either to do dual lanes or to have one of them jungle. But obviously you can't jungle with them. So they need to either look at the dual lanes or aggro try. Which means Centaur, Shadow Shaman, and Dazzle together, put the Doom on the top and the Invoker in the mid. Must then 100% be an Exort Invoker. You would 100% require that Sunstrike every single fight. And now Clockwork's going to be the last one for RoX. So they get their basic offlaner. They can run the Clockwork and Lich on that offlane. Lunar Tree on the safe lane. Ember Spirit in the middle. It's a wonderful dual lane set up here for RoX. It's stable. Straight across the board, it's stable. I love this lineup here from RoX. I won't say it's reminiscent, but just because it's got a Lich in there, it kind of feels very similar to their first game here in the qualifiers today. But they're definitely looking very, very stable here, Dog. RoX, as far as that lineup goes. Dog, they got a lot to prove. They got a lot to prove when it comes to this lineup. We'll get our last hero selected in a moment. MSS will be the man on the Doombringer. Which means we see Fader going that Invoker solo mid. So no surprises whatsoever as far as the pickups go. Everything is within normal parameters. And we'll get into it.
Prepare for battle.
So bottom lane. It will be Lunar on the safe lane. Godblack down south. Seedoy heading north. And the Lich just coming out for an earlier ward. With Solo on the map right now, they're probably considering having a ward in this position. And if possible, they're going to block up this. That'll be the two key points right now for Yol. In fact, he doesn't even want to run the risk of moving over the river, so he just puts a defensive observer ward. Also makes it very difficult, next to impossible, for Dog to de-ward out. So they know for that entire time they'll have vision there. But if you ended up putting the ward a little bit higher up here, you still see up into this high ground region. But you also are able to watch the rune. So because he did that ward in the middle, it's forced the ward up on top of the cliff. So at least I know what one of the runes is. Godblack can keep checking out the bottom rune. And his harassment level is going to be high. And we do actually get... Hey! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! This caster knows what he's talking about today. We'll be having the dual lane from Dog. So Iron Man Dazzle combining up with Misery Centaur. That'll be the combination here for the bottom lane. So the dual lane will be Puss.
The battle
as well as Fader up on the top lane, which then pushes MSS into the middle lane. And that's a better lane for MSS. He's at least able to get in close, because if he's up here on the top lane, up against a hero like a Clockwork, he'll just get his mana burned off, and life would just be way too hard for him. So they use Puss as well as Fader. The two heroes that can keep their distance from the Clockwork, but still cause him some troubles. And Yol, where's he switching? He may even consider switching towards the middle lane. Wait, what the hell? RMM, what are you doing here? Ah, of course. Doombringer's waiting for the 30-second creep, and he gets a Satyr. He gets a regeneration creep. That's a nice one for him. So they just let RMN have the earlier levels while he finishes up the camp, and then we'll come back out. And Lich won't be happy about this. While bottom lane, Misery. Well, not the greatest lane for him up against Goldblack, but he does have that advantage, the fact that RMN is not there. It's Goldblack having the advantage that RMN is not there to help out Misery. But also notice too, Misery, it's the second time we've seen a Centaur today. But this time around, the Centaur doesn't get return first level. While middle lane, Yol, MSS, well, he possibly could have committed his Scorched Earth just then. But I think he also realized he didn't have enough damage to kill off the Lich. But Misery is really up in the faces of this bottom lane. He's not going to be able to stop the farm from Luna, and Luna is definitely making sure that every single deny she can get, she's getting. RMN, this is a very awkward middle lane for them. At least having that regeneration aura is keeping him alive. So they'll win on the harassment battlefront. Pass. Just some extra damage into Seedoy, letting the creeps do their work. Is he going to get the aggro out too? At least he gets rid of the range creep. That'll get denied off. Bottom lane, Sunstrike's on the way in. And that's because Misery is trying to kill off Goldblack. But Goldblack, he's got living armor as well as Leech Seed. Misery knows he can't really win that fight. So it's more like a hopeful Sunstrike coming out from Vader. If it is enough damage, it's enough damage. If it's not, so be it. It definitely shows how much damage Misery is capable of soaking up. Leech Seed normally on any kind of offlane hero, especially like a melee hero with no escape mechanism. You have that kind of that kind of stability. When you get locked in by Leech Seed, it'll kill off anybody else. But in this case, not taking out the Centaur. Top lane movement coming from the Clockwork. Just have the battery assault going, but okay, he doesn't get in range for the cold snap. So Seedoy just turns in for a rocket. I'll take a little bit more of that farm. Misery. Hey, first blood. They're diving into the middle tower. The Scorch starts letting him keep up with Yol, but the living armor will protect him from now. Oh, Sunstrike. It's a little bit off target. Yol is coming back into that middle lane. So first blood gets to be missed by me. Yay. But Team Dog able to get it. Doombringer as well as RMN working nicely together. 2 points up in the touch. And they've been going for any kind of safety net with a shallow grave. Supposing right now they don't really feel like they need it, but they're going to in the future. This Luna is getting bigger as time goes by. Also interested to see if Luna's going to try and go into the Hand of Midas. Because this is turning into just like a straight up farming style lane. Misery is just going to be an absolute pain in the ass the entire time. And getting something like Ring of Aquila or Drums isn't going to really make much of a difference to this. This Luna has to prepare to be big in mid-game. That's the only way that really this Luna can build. The Ember Spirit, it's kind of like the same scenario. Like he was the first spot in the middle lane, which is obviously never a great thing for solo. Especially when, you know, a Doombringer's in the middle lane finding a quick level 6. So he knows that that's going to be a massive problem for him. But he also knows he's got to make the space. Like, if he dies, that's better. Seedoy is getting closer to level 6, which is greater for him too. Means his initiation's actually be able to do something in this game. It's going to come at a decent time. And Lich is also doing a good job too. Finding those levels. Pushing towards level 6. Got to get that Chain Frost up and running. So then Seedoy just hooks in. Gets the cog, Zippers over on 2. They find a kill. Luna in the meantime, Misery. Saw life points just evaporating from him. As far as the graph go, the little bar graph at the top. So that high level up in double edge. Put 3 points up into that. Misery has really just turned this into a killing lane. with 3 points up in Double Edge and 2 points over in Hoof Stomp, this damage output, it's like RoX aren't really ready for it yet. You're getting Coal snipped up a little bit. Looks like Shadow Shaman can't get in range for the 2 points either shock you were searching for. Misery just dominating this bottom lane. Not CS-wise, it's just the fact he's about to crack level 6 as well. And what are we picking up? Okay, it's going to be Tranquil Boots for Misery. He spent a lot of time running anyway. But then again, it doesn't really have to be. Cobblack into the tree line. Middle lane, they're going to go again. Solo, Sunstrike, a little bit off target again. And it's Solo walking a little bit more of a hard to predict path. He went down this direction as opposed to just straight back up the mid. But Doom is really just trying to like muscle him out of this lane. He knows he got level 6 in a moment. He knows too that Ember Spirit doesn't know when he's going to hit that level 6. So when the level 6 is up and the Doom is available, Solo basically has to back up. Because if he doesn't, he's dead. It's just that simple. And with the movement down the bottom lane, the haste rune from MSS picks up an illusion rune as well. Everything is going right for Team Dog. As far as the early point of this game goes, you got 2 kills already. The advantage is looking good, but they're not holding their advantage. Lich is still denying off a lot of experience on this top lane of Fader. It was a hero who needs a lot of this experience, and now, well, Frostblast is up. He doesn't really want to try and turn and fight this one because he doesn't have enough mana, Fader. He has to be a lot more cautious about it. Well, Misery is showing no caution, but he will pause the game quickly. He's coming in to try and leech out the experience out from Goblak, which he's done so successfully. Cracked over the level 6 mark. Looking very nice. Looking very, very nice. And Fader. Surprising he's going to go straight into an Orchid in this game. Like, I can understand the silence over on the Ember Spirit, but it's almost like this silence is for the Lich or the Clockwork. They don't need it for Tree, they don't need it for Luna. Luna will end up going BKB anyway. But just interesting to see that he wants to rush it as well. Like, no Hand of Midas for him. When you're playing up against a lane with a Lich, you kind of do feel like you need to have something to fill up the gap. Midas would be able to do that. Goldblack, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble, mainly because there's support coming in. So the first stun doesn't care about the leech because now you get the poison. Centaur stunning over on the side. Way Centaur turns on his own brother. And that means also Soul is going to have a crack at RMN. Now RMN, he's level 5 but not a single point up in Shallow Grave, and now the Doom will go on Solo. He does have to shield up and they go into the Eclipse, but the Illusion Rune will help to tank up a lot of it. With the Double Edge as well as the Scorched Earth is a huge amount of damage. The Sun strikes over on the side. It picks up the Ember Spirit. This time Fader hits the mark. While MSS will just bottle up and run straight back up the mid. Dazzle for the Ember, well worth it. Not to mention they force BZZ to move off this bottom lane. Now, BZZ either TP's the bottom lane. Oh, hello, Fader. Caught in the tree, caught in the cogs. Which means his death on top lane, and Pass can't do anything about that. He knows it. He also knew if he stuck around any longer, Lich got a sacrifice off, that would be then a Chain Frost of Falbel, and he could lose his own life. Ember Spirit's going to have a jump here at Misery. This is a lot better lane for Solo. And he's even going to go in deeper. He doesn't have a Sleight of Fist, though. Ends up taking a lot of damage for very little gain. So he's trying to make sure Misery moves back off this bottom lane, but at the same time, Misery just got to hold his ground. Let the Tranquil Boots do their work. Unfortunately for him, he's basically going to drop the Tranquil Boots if he wants to get any kind of CS. Just puts it straight back on cooldown. And then again, at the same time, if he gets one more hit, I know he wants that, but he doesn't know where the Ember Spirit moved to. But he can pick up a Ring of Health from the side shop now. Looks like he wants to have some extra mana. So he'll go all the way back to base and probably TP back out again. Before we got this Ember Spirit, like, just his remnant sitting on the bottom lane, waiting for the Centaur to just be too far out. Just a little bit too far out.
Bad luck.
At least Luna's having herself some good time in the mid. So we're going to go for a very greedy style build coming out from BZZ, going into the helm of the Dominator. Yell goes back into his, well, here she gets almost solo space up in that top lane as a Lich. Cedo's using him as bait for a bit. Cedo's level 7, we're going to look for that hook shot of his. While on bottom lane, Misery. I'm wondering if he is actually going to pick up that ring. MSS is on the bottom lane now with an Invis rune. This is an easy kill on Goldblack. They just use the Centaur Stomp. That's all they really need right now. And that's the one from first MSS and then from Misery. And then they just back up. Phase boost, nice frosting. The Lich ulti, they got split. Misery goes up, it's going to go into the creep wave. This actually separated RMN now, and he knows he's taking too much damage from this. Has to back it up. But at least got a quick kill. Solo's in the tree line, they know it too. But the fact that Misery's got almost 1.2k gold now makes me think he's just rushing the Blink Dagger. Oh, nice jump into a chain. Oh, steals the regen. The Doom will come off right now from MSS. But they don't have enough damage, and they've already used the Centaur ulti, so they cannot chase down Solo. If they go towards the high ground, they know they're going to find themselves in trouble. Pass comes in. Quick lucid beam. He's got his Mass Serpent Wards. He's going to have to cast him. Like, there's no other choice right now. And he got the Ward Trap on BZZ. They want to come back in. Sunstrike. They're trying to cut BZZ out of it. They've even soaked up the Sunstrike, but the Eclipse, BZZ, hiding in the Mass Serpent Wards. Letting off the Eclipse, gets the kill, and now Solo going in deeper, chasing down on top of the dog players. Hook shot in, catches down RMM. Underneath his own tier 1 tower will die. And 3 players for Dog are lost. They really thought when that Ward Trap went down there was potential for high amounts of kills, but RoX just dragged the support over the hill and they got the perfect fight in front of the Rosh pit. With Mass Serpent Wars being wasted, they can force out the mid tower. BZZ. Oh, I like this. We're going to see Mask of Madness and Yasha coming out from BZZ. Very, very greedy. Very, very greedy. I think it was Clairvoyance I was casting with at one point. We're discussing the potential. Oh, Misery, in he comes. Goldblack, hexed up. They're looking for the double stun. Can't really get it, so they have to shackle up Cedo and keep him up. The Lucid Beam, and then into the Overgrowth. They lose the Shadow Shaman so quickly. The double edge from Misery was just able to reach. So Cedo will go down. And then the mid tower gets 9 up. But yeah, back to, is he going to jump? No, he's not going to jump. Back to the Luna. With the Mask of Madness, as well as the Yasha, it's basically double greed. Because your first part of the greed is by going for the Mask of Madness, so you get the high movement speed, attack speed, and you can transition yourself through the jungle very, very quickly. Now, the older style of doing it was just getting yourself a Yasha. Because then you've got your bonus movement speed, you've got obviously agility gain and everything else that comes with it. So you're able to move through the jungle quite quickly with that. Very reminiscent of when Aoi 2000 used to play carry, and it was the main build which we saw him build on a Phantom Lancer, because it was just his transitioning through the jungle. And then you go into Vladimir's and you're all happy to go. But by going for both, you basically just skyrocket your farm and your effectiveness. The problem is you sacrifice your strength to do such a thing. And the reason why I'm saying Yasha is because he's still got this Band of Elveskin. Decided to finish the Mask of Madness first, and then assume we'll transition into that. It's either that or that's meant to be for the Manta style. And then we don't get the full greed coming out from BZZ. But again, you gotta remember, he needs to be greedy in this game. The greedier BZZ is, the better it is for the whole team of RoX. Ember Spirits makes the space. He's 2-1-2 right now on BZZ. Just keep the farm rolling. Misery is still having good time up on the top lane. He wants to farm up that creep wave. If only he knew no one else was there, he would just farm it up straight now. Because he's almost got the Blink Dagger. And once that Blink Dagger is up, then Dog finally have some form of initiation. Beyond having like a long range, well, he can't even EMP Tornado because like no points up in Wex from the Invoker. MSS doesn't have a Shadow Blade. He went to the hand of Midas. He pinging out to go for Roshan. Especially could commit the Mass Serpent wants to do such a thing. But to do that up against the potential of a solo jump as well as Lich Ultimate. Oh man, that's a ballsy dazzle. MSS and Fader are trying to force this mid tower out. But it's going to take some time. And with Luna on the front lines and already up to level 10, there's no way they can force out these towers, but they can try and get a solo kill here on Yol. So the Hex from Shadow Shaman, the Poison as well, Sunstrike, that almost is enough damage to get the kill straight away. Lich, ulti, he's going to throw it. The rocket came in too. Yol is surviving this. Earn charging, he's trying to survive. But either way, he wasted enough time with these two supports of Dog. The solo's able to come in and clean up the Dazzle. MSS unable to get there in time with the TP. And now Misery wants to jump, but visible. Observer Ward a little bit higher up inside the river, so they can see him coming. And now even a DD rune coming in for the Luna. And it is actually going to be the Yasha. Stack up the Ancients. Oh, is he fast enough? The Black Dragon's getting caught in the tail. Not fast enough, but still. It's a triple stack of Ancients coming in for a Luna with DD and a Mask of Madness. Level 11 arrives. And we'll get halfway up to level 12 by taking out this stack. This is so problematic for Dog. They need this Luna dead. They need this Luna dead. At the same time, how are they supposed to do it? The jump in initiation comes out from the Centaur. And he's got to jump in hard and fast, but he needs more. Like, the mech is over here on Fader, so the support Invoker, even though he does go a damage-dealing build, it's going to try and force down this bottom tower. Forge Spirits are there. May as well commit the Mass Serpent Wards as well. Make sure this tower goes down. Seedoy, oh, you got caught in the weave. They can't jump him, though. And they know it. They just make sure this tower is dead. It's the only primary thing that Dog can do. But at the same time, they're losing their top tower. Luna's up here forcing it out. Then he kills. This is just really bad trading at the end of the day for Dog. And it's not because they're making the wrong decisions. They're trying to force out towers. They know the decisions they have to make. It's just the fact that RoX have a lineup that just works so much better when it comes to this type of Dota. Dog have a lineup which is meant for basically 5-man pushing, as well as a couple of gang squads here and there. They don't have enough to deal with this speedy Luna running around the map for this Ember Spirit that's also bouncing around too. And then Tree is able to just give as much support to every part of the map as possible, anywhere he wants to go. And even Yol, like, this is a guy who was soloing 2 support heroes as a Lich. You want to give this guy some more items? He gets Nagant intercepted with those kind of stats. Dazzle and Shadow Shaman find themselves being very much useless. And that was with a good initiation. They started off with the Hex before the Lich could get anything off. The Poison, every kind of bit of damage they can pump out, they did. They're waiting for this blink on this top lane. They need 4 staff over on Fader. But because he went for the Met to keep his team up so they could do their pushing strat, they've ended up sacrificing their initiation. While in middle lane, solo, well, there's already a Centaur jump in. Hex to start with. There's more support going to be there in Gold Black. He's already coming out for the ulti, and they know it too. Shadow Grape, still no level up from RMN. He cannot protect anybody in this fight. And the Lich ulti is going to come up, and it doesn't bounce. It just goes straight once into MSS, and now Misery. Good jump. Brings down Solo finally. But Seedoy, he was able to pick off the Dazzle on the back end with a hook shot in, and then a loser beam out from BZZ. The support rolling in for RoX. And Team Dog looks like they're staring down the barrel of a second loss here. The retry cost them all sorts of problems. And RoX will just take out this mid tower easily. The Blade Mail is also completed. We're 18 minutes in with Cedo with Blade Mail up and running. Life be hard. Fader. Frost blasted. They want to loose and beam him up too, so Seedoy has time to get in from behind. That's exactly what he's done. He sees MSS behind him. The tower gets picked off by Luna, which means now Seedoy can freely walk around here, and he sees 2 heroes, MSS as well as Fader, but he can actually isolate Fader now, and that's what he was searching for. Blade Mail up, Fader can't attack him, Solo fist jumps through them all, and the Mass Serpent Wards do go down, but a tree ulti from Gold Black with the Leech Seed damage. Not to mention the heal coming the way of RoX. It's just too much. It's a complete team wipe in favor of RoX. Team Dog had everything they possibly could have thrown out in that fight. The Mass Serpent Wards were smack bang in the middle of it. but they just don't have the stability. Mech charge or not, like that mech went off, but with bouncing glaives and the bonus damage, Solo causing some problems, but even then, like, the Syrian chains weren't holding Dog in position. It was just the fact that Goblak was also able to get in close, get a good leech seed off, get a nice overgrowth up and running, and Team Dog had just basically forced back on their hind legs. And Mana Star fully done for BZZ. 10k on the net worth. I kind of was avoiding dragging this graph up, even though it has been kind of like level for a while. We did have a quick peek before at the experience, but you see just shoot up now for RoX. They're just gaining so much more out of every single lane. It's nice Nalba Fader, bringing those Invoke Forged Spirits down. Denying up the Luna, not an easy task with that many glaives bouncing around. He still was able to get the timing for it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Team Dog, you see Luna, like one Luna is enough. Well, I suppose it's 3 considering you've got the Mana Star illusions too. But one Luna is enough to bring down tier 1 towers solo. No support was required. No fear was there as well. With Jaeger's Immortal behind BZZ, he has no reason to fear anything. But moving north MSS, BKB is getting on the way bit to be completed for him. And then at least he'll have his, well, I won't say immunity, but he'll have some space to move around during the fights. Lich also, however, just finished up a full mech. Yol's having a great game. 5 for 1 on this Lich. She is leading on the kill count as far as the KDR goes. And it looks like tier 1 tower top lane is going to be the next focus of RoX. And rightly so. They don't need to do the top, they don't need to do the bottom, but Dog, at the same time, they're ready to fight. If they're fast enough, with that Mask of Madness already being activated over on the Luna, they kind of want to go on it, but Luna is such an obvious bait. Everyone's missing on the map. Welcome to a 5v5 fight. Can they kill her off in time, however? Jump in, the Cold Snap, the Lich Ult is bouncing up. It won't keep bouncing though. Misery able to pop off that ultimate so they can split themselves up quickly, and Goldblack just walks in. A good ultimate from him, and that's going to be MSS dying on the front lines. Then again, Shallow Grave, finally there's a level in this. It allows MSS to run himself away. He's healing up nicely too. The Rockets are going to go and Solo's jumping in deep. Gets a steering change on Fader, who then goes Invis, and there's no detection. Shadow Shaman, a quick hex, but only 2 heroes lost for Dog, and this time it's just the 2 supporters. Obviously, it's not the greatest way to end a fight. Rockets keep flying out as they're searching for MSS. He's got enough life points, he'll be surviving through this. But at least Team Dog don't lose a core during that fight. But now they got to deal with a Blink Dagger from Goldblack. Goldblack in that last fight just walked himself in. Didn't even care about it, just straight up walked in. No problems whatsoever with it. And now with the Blink Dagger, means Lead Seed's going to be a hell of a lot more effective. And now, also, tier 2 tower going down, they just keep feeding the gold in. What's coming out now? Courier. Perseverance for Solo. That's just full Battle Fury done. 22 minutes in. Not the greatest of timing with his 3 deaths, is understandable, and especially considering he went Phase Boots as well as Drums beforehand. Experience now stretching up to about 17.5. With the gold cracking over the 10k mark. And you just look over at Dog and you wonder what they are supposed to do. Like, Misery is trying to build into a Blade Mail right now. He's almost killing himself off by doing this. Obviously, like, he can't kill himself off that way. But there's no rockets going to hit him. So back to base, and in fact, he's going to bypass. He's bypassing the Blade Mail. Just gets a casual chainmail. And we'll go into what I assume to be a pipe. Needs something to help counter up against this Lich, but now Lich even affords a gem. So Dog's going to lose any kind of vision on the map. Which, I say that when they actually have none. And again, neither do RoX. They have 1 Observer Ward down here in the bottom lane. And they're watching... Wait, what? Rocket. Alright, they want to find Fader. Clockwork, hooks in. Unfortunately, you can't see him, so he's just going to cog up. Hold him here. And Goldblack's going to just stand in the tree line. Oh, Goldblack, stand here, stand here, stand here. Yep. They know he's moving back up again. But they want the kill. The sentry was just come in. Yeah, this is the gem. The gem arrived for y'all. Solo's just jumping in and out. Very simple kill. I don't know why. Like, just follow the courier to a fruit-flavored surprise. Unusual position to throw a courier. Funny thing is, though, Gold Black, if he went for it straight away, which he could have, then the courier would be dead. 4-star would never have been there, but Invoke would have TP'd out.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So you see what RoX gives favor more. While top lane, Dog, they just favor bringing down any kind of towers. It just becomes a trade-off, though. It's a tier 2 for a tier 2, and one had to use the Mass Serpent Wards, and the rest of Dog, they have to come back here. Because you know this will be a push up towards the high ground. And once the tower goes down, Dog can't get in close. The glaives will be too much to deal with. Even the creep wave just gets melted down by the glaives right now. Imagine what happens when it's just the buildings to the left. The tower at least protects them for now. As the weave goes off, nicely done by Dazzle, able to hit on 4 of the heroes here from RoX. But here's your glaive bouncing. Jump up, no correct chains up from Sol. In fact, he just didn't use it. It wasn't a missed time, he just never used it. Misery, nice done on Solo. Double edge really hits hard, but Gold Black again coming in with the perfect time for the ultimate. They still lost Solo in this fight. And the Lich Ollie is bouncing around, but BZZ stands his ground, lets the glaives do the work. And the triple kill comes their way. The buyback came out from the Centaur, jumping down and he balls the stun up, and Misery just calls the GG. Deafening Blast will go from Fader trying to buy some extra space, but that's going to be it. And with it, the chances from Team Dog to qualify themselves in for the D2CL Season 3 goes out the window. They'll have one last game. They'll have one last game going up against next KZ, Team Dog. While RoX will face up against the retry. We get ourselves 50 minutes before we get our main event match on this evening. I'm going to check and make sure we will have that game either delayed for the start or whatever. Either way, we'll be jumping in for probably RoX going up against the retry. We're going to go all Russian affair here for our last matchup. So stay tuned, people. So we'll be back here. And then Team Empire going up against the Alliance. Full best of 5. I'll be joined for that match by Luminous. He'll be coming on for that match and that match alone. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll be back here in a moment. Hopefully, too, also tweet me out at TobiWan Dota. How is the live stream working? We wanted to do it with a little bit of load, so these qualifiers doing a perfect job for that one. We're using Dailymotion's new back-end system as far as, like, their routing and the way all the servers work. So, please let me know, TobiWan Dota, how's it all working for you? In the meantime, I'll see you guys back here, hopefully in a couple of moments, for RoX going up against the retry.